Blessings everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra and you are watching Spotless Mind Tarot on YouTube. Today I will be pulling cards for each of the 12 zodiac signs in order to receive insights into the Gemini New Moon, which occurs on May 26, 2025 at 6 degrees and 6 minutes. We'll see how the energy of this moon cycle will be affecting you for the next 6 months, leading up to the Gemini full moon on December 4th, 2025 at 13 degrees and 3 minutes. I'll be using the Albano-Waite Tarot deck and the Urban Crow Oracle for these readings. As always, watch for your rising moon and or sun sign to get the most out of these readings. If you're not familiar with astrology, then the sign that you're born under according to your birth date is good enough for this reading. Timestamps for each of the signs are below in the description. If you would like to support my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a private tarot reading with me, you may do so through my Etsy shop. The link for that is below in the description. Aries, rising moon or sun. With Aries on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your third house of communications, language, writing, short distance travel, education, your neighbors, and your relatives. So for Aries, we got the Magician as well as Strength. And so you guys have two major arcana cards here. And with the Magician, I feel like there is something here to do with business. So I think it is a good sign if you do own a business or you would like to begin a business. I think this is a good sign to have the Magician here, because the Magician is ultimately, you know, like you reap what you sow, what you put out into the world, what you receive. So even if you don't fully subscribe to that idea as like what you feel and what you think is what you attract, when it comes to the Magician and when it comes to like attracting that, you know, just attracting anything in your life based on what you are resonating, I feel like when you really tap into your own values and self-worth, that's when you really begin to actually attract things. So, or it could go the opposite end to where if your value and self-worth is really low, then yeah, you're probably going to attract some negative things. But I do believe that you do attract positive things, and the positive things that you attract are there to reinforce the idea that you are confident, that you are capable, that, you know, you are right, you are correct, and there's nothing wrong about you or nothing wrong with what you're doing. And the same can go when you have a positive mindset and you're trying to attract positivity into your life. You could still attract negativity, and you could look at it as a test as well. A test to maybe, it's like thickening your skin. It's like giving you thick skin, you know, criticism. So like in the art community, criticism is good because criticism usually is constructive when it comes to art, okay? And it's usually has to do with just, I guess, like the rules of art, okay? Like if you are, so I'm like a freelance artist. I never took classes. I mean, like I took art in school, but I'm not like formally trained in art. And so there's a lot of things I don't know how to do. You know, there's a lot of, you know, whatever. There's just a lot of things I don't know how to do. And it's just because I wasn't taught how to do them, or I didn't teach myself. And so like, yeah, there's certain rules when it comes to certain aspects of art, okay, like shading and lighting and all that. But at the same time, you're free to do whatever you want. And so with all that said, I think that's what the Magician is here to guide you over the next 6 months when it comes to the third house or wherever it is in your birth chart. We are dealing with whole sign energy here. And of course, everyone's birth chart is different. And so, you know, how this affects you is going to be very different for each and every one of you. But I think with all that said, you know, I think it's good with the Magician to be neutral. Of course, lean towards a more positive, a more light side of things. But at the same time, it's like you could be neutral and you could still bring in new things into your life. And yeah, so I hope that made sense, because I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. The Magician is ruled by Mercury, and so Mercury is the ruler of, or the lord of, Gemini, and so it just has a lot in, and Mercury is pretty neutral. And as a deity, he is it's a man, but he is androgynous, and, or there's another word for it. Yeah, I can't think of it right now, but it's just a very neutral, you know, they can go both ways. And so I think that's what's important here. You want to utilize both the dark and the light, okay? And so I did mention about attracting dark and light energies, or putting out dark and light energies. And so I think what it is you need to combine the two and bring the two together. Like, there is no right or wrong way to do things. There's no right or wrong way to begin a business. At the same time, like, of course, there's rules. Maybe in your state you have to get a license, or they are like an LLP, I believe it's what it's called, and it's 1313 on the clock, so maybe that's confirmation too. So yeah, like, so maybe you have to do something like that, but you could still, like, how you go about beginning it is still entirely up to you. Now with the Strength card, I feel like this is giving you a lot of opportunity that is going to test your will and your might, is what I'm getting. But at the same time, it's a reminder that, you know, you've got this, that there's really nothing to be afraid of. I mean, everyone gets the jitters, everyone gets nervous, you know, everyone gets stage fright when it comes to something in their life. And so I think you just got to work through that and, like, recognize that, like, oh, I'm feeling nervous because, or I'm feeling anxious because I've never done this before, or this is something big, this is something new. Now listen to your instincts, of course. If it doesn't feel right, like, at all, like you can't shake it, like it just does not sit well, then maybe reconsider how you're going about things. But if you're just nervous and, like, you know that there's really nothing wrong, you know, then go ahead and go through with what it is you're doing. Okay, so it doesn't have to be business. I know that seems to be the focus here. So it could be anything that's serious or long lasting, something that's you need to put money into, like a relationship or starting a family. So it could just be anything that's kind of important, that's serious, that's, again, long lasting, and all that. And I'm being really drawn to the yellow on these cards. There's just this bright, vibrant energy. And if you ever see, like, yellow under, like, UV light, or, like, we have LEDs, and, like, when the lights are off and it's blue LEDs, yellow, like, it glows, you know, has, like, this fluorescent vibe to it. And so that can mean something, you know. Maybe there are things that you see that other people don't see. Birds and certain insects, for example, they could see UV light, and so they could see all that glowing light that we can't see. And so, you know, like an actual, like, black light, like certain flowers will look like that to certain bees, or birds have colors in their feathers that we can't see, that you could see under UV light. And so that could be a message, like, you see something that other people don't see. And so maybe reassure them, especially if you are dealing with other people, if it is like a business partner or a relationship, like, do reassure them that everything's fine, that you have a vision, and you're going to go with your instinct, you're going to go with what feels right, and there's nothing to really worry about. So I think that's what we got for you guys. So that will pretty much be what's unfolding for you over the next 6 months, according to the 3rd house in your birth chart, okay? Or whatever sign, if you're not an Aries rising, I mean, this still will affect you regardless if it's your sun or moon. So do watch for the other signs to get, like, a full picture of everything, okay? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and pull oracle cards. We're going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. Okay, so for you guys, we got catching. Number 7, catching. One day while feeding my neighborhood crows, I noticed one of them using their beak to push around some decaying leaves and then dig a hole. The bird looked around, checking to make sure it wasn't being watched, and then swiftly opened its mouth and dropped in the food. It was saving the dog kibble I had given it for later. The crow didn't want to eat the food right away, but it also didn't want to leave it around for some other creature to enjoy. You may find yourself either keeping an idea or possession hidden till the time is right, or simply unwilling to let go of something you aren't using out of fear that someone else may benefit from your release or surrendering. Sometimes the moment is not right to move forward. However, it doesn't mean that the time will never arrive. You may be working on a project that holds a great deal of promise, but you're unable to devote the energy at the moment. Setting the idea aside does not mean giving it up. It just means that you recognize there will be value in waiting. Catching may also indicate that you will benefit from investing. This may be investing in yourself or investing in a financial institution. Okay, so that's what we got for you guys. Thank you for watching. Taurus rising moon or sun sign. With Taurus on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your second house of resources, material possessions, your wants and needs, desires, and your sense of security. So for you guys, we got the Empress, as well as the Sun in reverse. Okay, with the Empress, I do feel that there's something you've been working on for a really, really long time, or this is something that you began long ago and you're now finally able to come back around to it. Either way, it's something that's been in process or in progress this entire time, whether or not you had to step back from it or not. And with the Empress, I feel that whatever it is that you're doing, you're in good hands. You have good intentions, and I do feel like you should keep going with this, keep proceeding with this. So with the Sun card in reverse, it's telling me that whatever it is you're dealing with, maybe it's really difficult, whether it is you personally, like what you feel, what you're going through is really difficult, or the situation at hand is really difficult. And so you gotta, I think with the Empress, it's really telling me that, there's really nothing to worry about, and that your feelings are completely valid, and maybe you should express them, okay? So if you're dealing with another person in this situation, whatever it may be, we are dealing with the second house here. So, it could be like really private relationships, things behind closed doors. The second house is like your bedroom, okay? And so it's something really personable, really valuable, really even sacred to you. I think it's good to take note that whatever it may be, like you're in good hands. You could trust this person even. Of course, go with your instincts. If you can't trust them, then disregard that message. But for others of you, then yeah, you could trust this person. You could trust this situation. Basically, what it is I'm trying to get out is that whatever it is, like, you're on the right track, okay? Even if it doesn't seem like that, because with the Sun in reverse, there's some disappointment here. There's a lack of confidence. There's a lack of trust, a lack of being able to see through the fog. I feel like some of you are dealing with depression, or there's something going on that's kind of like keeping you low, keeping your energy low. Okay, I mean, there's so much going on in the world. So it's quite understandable that things can be really, really overwhelming at this time. But again, like, I just keep getting reassurance here. And so I think that's the biggest message for you guys, is reassurance, to trust that like everything's cool, everything's fine. And whatever it is you are working on, it's going to be very prosperous. It's going to have a long lasting effect, okay? We are dealing with Venus energy and Sun energy, okay? So maybe take a look at those placements in your chart. Maybe you do have a transit affecting them right now, and so that could give you an idea as to why you're not just feeling it, or you can't see the bigger picture. Things could be a bit hazy for you guys. We did have Saturn go into Aries just recently, and we have Neptune there as well. And so yeah, right now things can be really unclear, especially with Neptune, especially if Neptunian or Pisces energy is something you do struggle with, and it's not something that's familiar to you. As an earth sign and as a fixed sign, Pisces energy might be quite difficult actually, especially if you have nothing in Pisces, or if there's something afflicted there, or even if Neptune is afflicted in your chart. But regardless, I think there's just a lot of confusion right now in the world. There's a lot of uncertainty. And with Saturn going into Aries, you know, this is a time for us to really step into our power, to really stand up for yourself, and to really fight for what we believe in. Because Aries is the warrior. He is a fighter. And so you definitely don't want to fight like in a violent way per se. That's not what I'm suggesting. It's more like fighting for your rights, fighting for your freedom. I'm getting like fighting for your will to live. You know, fighting through whatever it is you got to get through, like push through it, get through it. You know, think of Aries as a ram. They go in head first. They're not thinking. They're just going for it. Or if they are thinking, they're ready for it. Okay. And so that's kind of like how it's going to affect us for the next 2.5 years with Saturn and Aries. You know, there's a lot going on, and you know, there's also a lot of stress with that, I believe. I don't think Saturn likes to be in Aries to begin with, you know, and especially Neptune. So it is difficult. It's a lot to work through. But for you guys specifically with the Empress, again, I can't say it enough times that Empress card is such a positive sign that what it is you're working on is long lasting. Also, it's a card of comfort and luxury and security, and that's something that's really important to you guys, is a sense of security. And we are dealing with the second house, which is also security, and which is your guys' house. And so as the sun transits through Taurus season and Gemini season, this is a time for you to really renew and to really work on and like put out what it is you want in your life. It's kind of like a New Year's resolution for you, okay? Every time the sun goes in your sign, it's like a new year. Technically it is, because you have your solar return, right? So look at it as a time to really like set forth in motion what it is you want in your life. And with the Empress, it has to deal with something related to the second house, as well as something that you've already been working on or you began a while ago. So it's a continuation. Okay, the Empress is pregnant. She's already pregnant. She's not getting pregnant. She's pretty far along actually. And so look at it like that. It's something that you've been brewing and working up to for a long time. Now I'm getting, for some of you, it is like leaving a job or ending a relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic. It's maybe even like proposing, okay? So it's or even like coming out of the closet, or revealing a secret to somebody really close to you, or maybe admitting a fault that's just been gnawing away at you. Yeah, these are all things that could come up as well over the next 6 months. So do keep in mind, this is energy for 6 months. Now is the time to really act upon it. And I am recording this after the new moon, 2 days after. We're still in the energy of it, but now you really want to like get the seeds out there. Like the moment you watch this video, like get that going, get that planted, okay? Because you want to take the opportunity, because the Sun card, even though it's in reverse, is about opportunity. It is about giving you the chance to shine, giving you the chance to put yourself out there and be more just in your element, whatever that looks like. How, you know, if you're quiet, if you're loud, if you're eccentric, if you're mysterious, whatever that is, like tap into who you are. Okay, the Sun card is all about you, and we want to turn it upwards. We don't want to keep it in the reverse. Okay, so yeah, you just gotta, whatever it is, you gotta work through it. Okay, there's so many things running through my mind right now. Okay, so that's what we got for tarot. Now let's pull an oracle card. We're gonna pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. Okay, we got number 18, fear. I know I say this, but I feel like I've never pulled that card. I mean, there's a lot of cards I still haven't pulled in this deck. I feel like this is definitely one of them. Okay. 18, fear. Have you ever seen crows hanging around a scarecrow? I am sure they were once afraid of it, but over time, with knowledge, that fear disappeared. Are there old beliefs passed down from generation to generation that hold you back out of fear? Fear asks that you examine your beliefs. Are they in sync with reality? Are your decisions and actions based on old information that no longer hold relevance today? Sure, fear can save us from making painful or costly mistakes. However, if given too much power, fear also creates inaction and stagnation. Fear prevents our creative mind from exploring all possible solutions to our problems. When this card appears, you may consider looking inward or checking in to see where you are allowing fear to limit your potential. As the saying goes, fortune favors the brave. As a crow on the card reaps the benefits of a field of untapped potential, as the fearful crows hold back, you too have an opportunity where fear keeps others at bay. For you, the fearless, all you need to do is swoop in and seize the moment. So that's great, Taurus. Thank you for watching. Gemini rising, moon, or sun. With Gemini on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your first house of identity, sense of self, your soul's direction, and your place in the world. So for you guys, we got the Queen of Wands, as well as the Lovers in reverse. So with the Queen of Wands, I really feel, and with the Lovers in reverse, I feel like right now it's a time for you to really just focus on yourself. I feel like you've been putting a lot of energy into other people, or even just into other things like your job, or maybe just something going on in the world. You're giving a lot of attention to it, okay? I feel like right now with the Gemini New Moon that we're dealing with, because it is your new moon, it is a really good time for you to take a step back and just like reevaluate, or even just like recollect all your energy, like gather it, call your energy back to you, okay? Maybe even do like some cord cutting or like some Reiki. I love watching Reiki on YouTube. Like you can find like all kinds of Reiki videos where they do cord cuttings, or they just do like energy clearing, or whatever it may be. But there are even like rituals you could do to where you literally like call back your energy. Like you could just look it up online or whatever. Of course, be cautious of any kind of ritual you do, but there's actual rituals where you call back your energy to you, and you just gotta like repeat stuff and do stuff, whatever. Okay, so basically just create a space, okay? Just cultivate that energy, call your energy back, okay? And with the Queen of Wands, I think this is really necessary, because I feel like you're being prepared to go on a new chapter, maybe just some kind of new adventure, because we are dealing with wands. So there's a lot of adventure coming up in your life. It could mean there's travel, there could be a change in career, a change in relationships, okay? Maybe just a change in the environment, okay? For some, it could be political, like there's something going on in your country or in your city or state that like affects the way you live and go about. I'm also getting something about commuting. So yeah, like travel, even if it's driving, there could be something happening, like maybe the way you commute to work is going to be, like the road's going to be shut down for the rest of the year or something like that, and now you have to go a different direction. And like for some reason, that's super important for me to bring up, okay, in this reading. It's like there's a redirection. There's going to be a reason why that's happening in your life as well, aside from they got to fix something or whatever. It's like it's literally the universe shifting you into a new lane, into a new position, and there's a reason for that, okay? Everything happens for a reason. Everything's connected. And so that's like another thing to pay attention to, or to consider, that everything is connected, that everything is in motion for you. And it is somewhat selfish, but it's doing it for everybody, okay? And with the Queen of Wands, this is all about you. This is all about owning your power and being liberated in your own power and self-expression. With the Lovers in reverse, there is like difficulties here with relationship, and mainly I just feel like there's certain people draining you, or certain situations, your job, or events, okay, that are really like affecting you, and you gotta cut it off. Okay, so it's not like so much turning a blind eye to it, but it's like just not paying attention to it so much. You don't have to. So for example, everyone knows there's issues going on in the Middle East, and I don't want to say because I don't know what the rules are on YouTube, okay, but we all know, like, you know, what's going on. There's a disaster going on. It's very tragic. And I got to the point at the beginning, I didn't pay attention to it because I knew it would affect me, but eventually it got louder and louder. I'm just like, okay, this isn't ending, like this is still going. And I started paying attention, and right off the bat, I'm deeply affected because it's something I've been passionate about. But either way, I got to the point where it was just too much, like seeing all the footage coming out of there. It's just like, it's traumatic, okay? And it's not so much you should look away from it, okay? Like, it's real, it's reality, it's happening. But maybe, you know, I got to the point where I had to limit myself. I had to be like, okay, I gotta mute some of this. I gotta, you know, hide it for a week. I need to bring back the energy back to myself. And I did do that, and it felt great, you know? And I kind of go back and forth with it now. You know, there's some things that come across my timeline that I can't really ignore. And, you know, there's other stuff where I kind of like scroll past it, but it's not to ignore it. I know it's happening. It's really about me and how it's affecting me, okay? You got to take care of yourself. You can't, and I can't save them. I can't save anybody, really. I mean, I could do my part. We could all do our part, but like, I can't, I'm not Superman or Superwoman, right? And you got to tell yourself that, okay? Bringing it back to you guys, you're not, you know, you're not, it's a savior complex. Like, don't give in to that, whatever it is in your life, okay? And it is something personal, or it is like a one-on-one thing, okay? So for me, that is personal because that is an issue I've been following for over 10 years now. And so it's always affected me, and a lot of things that go on over there have always affected me. And so because really it's about what's fair and what's just, and there isn't a lot of justice. But anyways, I don't mean to make it gloomier about me, but I think it's important to bring up because it's something that I have had to go through this, okay? I mean, we all do, but I can speak from experience for you guys right now. And so with all that said, yeah, it is like a one-on-one connection. It's something that you are deeply drawn to, deeply tied to. On one end, it's a very karmic. You are meant to be connected to this person or to this thing. Okay, there's something there for you to, whatever it is, you are there to help in some way. But there's only so much you could do. There's only, especially for people like, if it is like a relationship that you're dealing with, like somebody you know personally, and like maybe they're going through a hard time and you're really trying to get through them, and you're really fighting for them, but either they don't want your help or they just can't see it the same way you see it. And so at that point, it's like you don't want to cut them off, but you gotta be like, okay, well, I think it's a good idea that you kind of just, you know, try to do it on your own now, or maybe, you know, you should go seek help somewhere else because there's only so much I could do for you, right? And so, yeah, like, you don't want to abandon, but maybe you can divert them and be like, okay, I have a friend, or I know somebody that could, maybe they could help you, okay? Because this is all I can do, and I feel like you're still struggling and you still need some assistance, okay? It's on them to get the assistance, or if it's not even, it's so much on them to get the assistance, it's really what's in alignment and meant for it to happen in their life, on their path, okay? You know, we're all connected, and everything happens for us and to us for a reason. And like how I began the reading, maybe it's for if you are dealing with somebody and you do have to like kind of put up a wall or kind of like detach a bit, that detachment will also put them and redivert them onto a new path, okay? Because I mentioned something about being like forced to go onto a new path because you don't really have a choice because the road closed and they have to work on it all year, and so you have to go a different route. Like, you don't have a choice, okay? And so it seems like there's a situation where you're in this situation, but also the thing or the event or the job or the person you're dealing with are also in the same. And you know, it's not so much on you to do this, but if you were to do this, if you were to just cultivate that energy back and to just kind of like either realign to your path or to get onto a new one, it's going to do that for them too. It's like cause and effect, okay? It's all connected. And so, you know, that there's something positive about that. It's like looking at the bright side of the situation is that it's going to bring everybody to where they are. So again, it's like really karmic, okay? The Lovers is karmic, even though it is in reverse, okay? Don't let that you know, concern you. It's still in effect. The energy of the Lovers is still in effect. It's still a divine purpose, a connection to the divine, that oneness, okay? So that's basically what I got for you guys, okay? This energy is going to carry over for the next 6 months, so don't think it's just going to all happen and end right now. I am recording this after the new moon, and so even though the new moon has passed, we're still in the energies of it for the next week or two. And again, it's going to lead up to the Gemini full moon. So the Gemini full moon, I would say, is where you really see a finalization. You're probably going to see several of them up until that point, but on or around that time, December 4th, that's when you can really see an end to all of this. Now, this is first house as well, and so this is a redirection, essentially, because it's your first house. So also keep in mind that the new moon is conjunct Uranus, and so Uranus can be very like sporadic. It could just ignite a revolution overnight, okay? And so that's the energy you're dealing with, so just kind of go with it. But you still want to have control. You don't want to be out of control, okay? And I'm just thinking of the movie Rebel Without a Cause. You don't want to be a rebel without a cause. You want to have reason for what you're doing, and you also want to have control of yourself, really. That's what it comes down to. So that's what I got for you guys. Let's go ahead and pull Oracle card for you. We're going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. Okay, so the card we got for you is number 9, communication. This is definitely your guys' card because you guys are the sign of communication. Number 9, communication. When I lived in my 3rd floor apartment, one of my neighborhood crows would often come calling on my balcony in the morning. This was before we adopted our pup Layla, who took up chasing the crows away. There was one crow in particular that stood out that my daughter and I eventually named Brave One, because he or she would go right up to our sliding glass door and rap-a-tap-tap impatiently with its beak. This delightfully persistent bird was looking for a handout. Communication brings a message to speak up, state what you want. You may think those around you know your needs and desires, but that may not be the case. Now is the time to articulate your wishes. Communication asks that you get clear on what you want so that there will be no misunderstanding or confusion later. Although communication may point to a situation on an earthly level, it may also indicate that you need to be clear with what you want when communicating with your spirit guides or higher self. Are you being too vague? Are you asking for what you want exactly? Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Cancer, rising moon, or sun sign. With Cancer on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 12th house of hidden realms, enemies, dreams, fantasies, secrets, and solitude. Okay, so for you guys, we got the Devil and the Ace of Swords. So I feel like there's something when it comes to the Devil card, okay, this could be that you are unknowingly or knowingly trapped in a situation that is not good for you. And with the Ace of Swords, it's like screaming at you now. Like, it's making it very, very clear that this is not good, okay? And we are dealing with the 12th house, and the 12th house can deal with enemies. And it could be someone that you're dealing with, a situation, or it could just be you are being an enemy to yourself. Maybe you are neglecting something that you know you shouldn't be. And so I think it's really important right now, and especially over the next 6 months, to really take care of your health and to maybe become a little more self-aware. And so it doesn't have to be for the sake of your health, but there's something in your life where you're not seeing it, or you are, but like you're having a hard time accepting it, or you're just it's almost like you're kind of wishing it away. Okay, you've got hopeful thinking like this is just gonna blow over. This card and this reading is here to tell you that it's not going to blow over, okay? And there's something here with the Devil where you feel some shame and some guilt. I feel like this could just be childhood trauma. This could just be based on your upbringing, and like maybe, you know, just your perception of things. Maybe there's something that you think is wrong, okay, or you think is right. Either way, it's the Devil card that we're dealing with. There's a duality here. There's something here that has this neutral energy. It's like you're very neutral, okay? And I got that energy. I think I got that for Taurus as well. Okay, so maybe watch the Taurus portion of this, but it's different than Taurus because they got the Empress. And so, or maybe it was Gemini. I can't remember. Whoever got the Empress, Taurus or Gemini, they have something like this where there's this neutral energy. Or even Aries got it too. So far, something I've noticed with these readings is that there's usually a theme that carries across all signs, because it's the Gemini New Moon itself has its own theme, okay? And then how that affects us is very different, okay? And so this theme seems to be one of neutrality on any level and dealing with whatever situation, okay? And so there's something here where you're being really neutral, but it's not doing you any good, okay? It's the opposite, where Aries has a neutral effect, but they have the Magician card, so it's working in their favor. This is not working in your favor, okay? Whatever it is, if it's your health, it's your job, a person you're dealing with, whatever it is, to where you're neglecting something, to where there's something that's wrong, but again, like you're trying to be positive about it, but it's like that's not gonna solve the situation, unfortunately. With the Ace of Swords, I feel like this is a sign that it's going to come to you. You may not know. Okay, so I guess with this reading, it's like waking you up to that. Like, okay, I have to accept it now. Like you're exposing me, like you're calling me out, and okay, but what next? What now? Okay, the Ace of Swords is telling me that, okay, when you ask the universe, okay, what's next? What do I need to know? It will respond, okay? It will either respond immediately or it will just eventually show up, okay? And it might repeat a couple times until you recognize it. So if you are really good with synchronicities, like that's part of your life, like catching numbers or words or whatever it is, like I catch numbers and words and colors and things like that on a daily basis. Like almost every day there's a synchronicity happening. I mean, they are happening all the time, but when you train yourself to catch it and pay attention to it, you see them more and more, and then you're able to recognize things a lot quicker. So that's something you could work on, okay, with the Devil card too, because you know, you could say that's magic or witchcraft, right? Because you're taking advantage of the energy in the universe, okay? Most people are asleep to it. Most people don't have what I call that higher consciousness. I've made videos about this and speaking on like basically my main path and my spiritual path is really just about higher consciousness, and it's really just about becoming aware of reality, aware of the universe, all things hidden as well as all things in the material reality, okay? And it's not to say that like I've seen it all and know it all, but I've had experiences for myself to where I could feel that oneness and be open to like all the possibilities. And so one of them is synchronicities, catching numbers or colors, or just recognizing patterns. It's really what it is. They're repetitive patterns, and they kind of happen like on coincidence. Like they like two separate things that have nothing to do with each other could have this pattern that you're recognizing. Again, witchcraft, whatever, you could see it as that. The Devil card is more like, yeah, like play with the universe, okay? Do these things. The Bible says not to do astrology. Like the fallen angels taught us astrology and philosophy. They even taught us how to put on makeup, okay, according to the stories in the book of Genesis. And like those are normal things, right? Putting on makeup, everyone does that, right? What's so wrong about that? But according to the Bible, it's bad. You shouldn't be doing that. So it is like playing with fire with the Devil card. So it's like basically it's alchemy, okay? But at the same time, there's something negative here. You need to get rid of that, okay? And once you do, and once you admit to yourself whatever it is that's going wrong, that you're just refusing to accept or whatever, Ace of Swords is going to step in and it's going to get your attention. And I do feel synchronicities are really important here. I think it's going to help you get out of it, okay? It's going to pull you out of it by you asking the universe and like taking what the universe gives you, because it does do this, and I've experienced this for myself, okay? And that's how I found astrology. I asked the universe to, I don't want to get into it, but I basically asked like this whole thing with the universe, and it showed me astrology and all that stuff, and here I am today. And it's changed my life forever. Like what it did is it helped me really rediscover who I truly am, because so much of that has been lost over the years just based on just my life and what I've gone through. And through astrology, I was able to really reconnect with those lost parts, and I think a lot of us can and do that, okay? It really opens us up. So you want to take up astrology, or maybe there's something, a practice you can do that aligns you to your spirit, okay? To where you are more open and you are more receptive and you could see these things. And the Ace of Swords is great because it's always just like it's a bright idea. It's a sudden realization. It's literally a light bulb. All the aces are light bulb moments, but the Ace of Swords is just like an aha moment. It's like, oh, it's like the sword in the stone. Like it's just, you can't, like, it's undeniable. You can't unsee it. You can't undo it. You can't unhear it, okay? So I think that's really positive. This reading kind of started off I was really concerned here, but now it's ended on a very positive. So again, I was working with that energy of alchemizing it, getting out of that negative space and quickly proceeding forward. The quicker you can get away from whatever it is that you are holding yourself back from, the sooner the transformations begin. And with air energy, it's quick, it's fast, it is about receiving, okay? So again, ask the universe and be open to receiving whatever thoughts come into your head, because that's the universe talking to you, okay? It's the voices in your head. It's literally what's out there, okay? I mean, technically it's your own thoughts, like your brain's doing it, you're doing it, but that's how you receive. That's how I do tarot. It's just whatever comes to me that I just say it out loud. And sometimes it makes no sense. Sometimes I feel really embarrassed for it, but a lot of times people are just like, oh my God, that was so accurate. And like how could you do that, right? And so I trust it. I've done it enough times to trust that all this rambling I'm doing is for a reason, okay? And so that's another thing. Trust it. There's a reason for it. You can't see it. It's air. You can't see the air, right? Like you can't see the wind. You can see the wind blowing on the trees, blowing on the earth, but you can't, like, it's not a visible force. And so you have to trust that it's there. You could feel it, right? You could hear it, you could think it. So that's wonderful. This has been a really cool reading. So let's go ahead now and pull an oracle card for you, and we're going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. So for you guys, we got number 11, curiosity. Number 11, curiosity. An open door is an open invitation for this brave crow. Now is an excellent time to consider what treasures you will find when you are brave enough to explore. Curiosity asks that you open doors, look inside, and analyze the situation. This is a time to dig in and do your research. Curiosity indicates that you are just scratching the surface. The possibilities are vaster than you are currently seeing. However, you need to get inquisitive. When you start asking questions, a path will unfold. When curiosity appears, you will be better served by putting aside your emotions and thinking like a researcher. So very, very cool. That really just drove the point home for us. So thank you for watching, Cancer. Leo rising, moon, or sun sign. With Leo on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 11th house of networks, community involvement, your social circle, creative projects, aspirations, and gains. Okay, Leo, we got the 10 of Swords and then the 9 of Swords. And when I saw these two, I said, oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, with the 10 of Swords, I feel like Gemini season for you, at least this year, is all about endings. Okay, so something is coming to an end. This can just be something that relates to the 11th house, or just something like in your life that's like affects you as a whole, okay? Not just one area of your life, it's affecting your entire life. So I'm getting something about a death or a rediscovery here, and some kind of issue revolving around that, okay? The 10 of Swords, it's like, I'm just getting there's a major ending, and it's really painful for you, especially with the 9 of Swords. It's really, really difficult. I mean, these cards they're not the greatest, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this reading either for you guys. I could easily just try to pull new cards, but this is literally what I got. And the 10 of Swords, when I was shuffling, jumped out of the deck. And so whenever that happens, I feel like there's an urgency here. And really what these readings are meant to do is to awaken you to these things that I bring up. Okay, now of course not everything I say is going to relate to you or even resonate with you, and that's totally fine. If this reading doesn't resonate, then that's fine. Like, that's not for you. Okay, go look for your other signs or go find another tarot reader. And I think with that, like me saying go find another tarot reader, go find another girl, go find another man, or maybe you literally like go find something else to do, go find something else that's better for you. I feel like whatever it is that's ending, it's like you're really holding on to it, and like you're really beating yourself up for it. Okay, so if it is like a relationship ended, I feel like it's not that like you're the victim, but like it's a stab in your heart. Okay, like they're breaking up with you instead of you breaking up with them. So it's a situation like that where there's an ending, but it's like it came up out of nowhere, or it's going to if it hasn't happened yet, and it's not your doing. Okay, it's not gonna be something that you end. Okay, so if you end something over the next 6 months, this reading's not for that. So yeah, the 9 of Swords is just telling me like you're really harboring it, you're really taking it personally, and it's very valid. I'm not here to say that you're wrong or you shouldn't do this, okay? With these energies especially, I feel like you don't want to ignore it. You don't want to ignore the bad feelings. I mean, I know it's something we do. It's something I definitely have done, and I've been working through lately over the past few years. So based on my experiences, feeling this shit sucks, okay? But it sucks even more when you don't, okay? Of course, when you're going through it, it hurts or it's uncomfortable. Whatever uncomfortable feelings come up for you, it's really difficult. And yeah, like repressing it and pushing it to the side feels good at that time, but I promise you it's going to come back, because it came back for me. And I'm sure there's a lot of things in your life, especially if you're older, to where, yeah, certain things come back to haunt you. And this one is painful. It's Swords. So it could be something that, yeah, it's coming back to haunt you, or there's something happening right now and you have the opportunity to just go through it, to experience that loss, experience that heartbreak, that disappointment, that whatever it is that you're dealing with, a person, your job, whatever, okay, yourself, you gotta go through it, okay? That's the only way you're gonna beat this, because again, you can repress it now, sure, fine. I promise you it's going to come back, okay? This could be something new again, and I do feel it's something new. It could be some stuff from the past that got triggered, okay? And so now you're combining all these things, and like you're relating something in the past to something happening now. Recognize that as a trigger, and it's 14:14 on the clock. Recognize that as that's its own thing, that's its own memory, and our brains don't know the difference between memory and reality. And that's why whenever we do have triggers, especially traumatic ones, it sends us into like a state of panic. And if you've ever gone through it, you know what it's like. And it's because your body thinks you're in that moment again, and thinks it's happening again. You have to tell yourself, no, it's not happening. And it's more than just telling yourself. There's a whole therapy you have to go through. But for the sake of this reading, you got to remind yourself, that's not what's happening. This is what's happening. Okay, this is what's happening now. And all that shit in the past, it's only coming up because my brain is a big dummy, okay? But we love it. Okay, we love our brain. And if I go through this, if I just work with the feelings, it's going to make you that much stronger. And it's like a hard truth to admit that, yeah, like everything I've been going through, it's made me into a different person. It's made me stronger, but I would say I'm still pretty weak from it. I'm still deeply I'm not like in the midst of it, but I'm still in it, right? So it's not like completed, but there are certain things in my life to where I feel like a new armor has been put on. And so that's what this is going to do for you. Whatever the situation is, whatever that unfolds over the next 6 months, according to your 11th house, or if it's in a different house, like, because I'm using whole signs here, so maybe it's in the 12th house, or maybe it's in the 10th house, then combine that with this reading. But overall, it's your 11th house, okay? And yeah, like on one end, I could see it as something like maybe somebody put you on a pedestal, and so that's why you're falling apart. Like they gave you the world, or they seemingly did, and they just took the rug out from under you. That's what it's like, okay? So yeah, my chin is itchy, but I'm sure it's just my hair. But I always itch, and like when I do readings, I used to get like a weight on my shoulders. When I was a teenager, I did tarot readings. I would feel like there's like hands on my shoulders, and like, yeah, it's weird. I don't get that anymore. I've gotten it once though, since I started doing tarot readings. Actually, when I picked up this deck for the first time, the Albano-Waite, and it's a vintage. It's been, I don't think it's been like used, but it was opened, okay? So it has some energy tied to it already. But anyways, because I'm bringing that up, maybe something to do with feeling, like trust your feelings. Like there's certain body feelings you're gonna get, and there's this whole thing, I'll put a link for it below. I actually shared it with somebody else on Twitter, and then I posted it to my timeline. But there's a video you should probably check out if you have body pain or chronic pain or trauma, or you're just interested in this, when it comes to healing and light body work. What's that? Like they mention like phantom pain, if you're familiar with that, how certain parts of our body store memory, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna leave a link next to your guys's timestamp to a video to go check out, because for whatever reason I'm being called to tell you guys to go check it out. And now I'm kind of like losing my train of thought, but so there's something there when it comes to like feeling something, like I was mentioning. Maybe you are dealing with a chronic pain, and that chronic pain is you're doing everything you can to heal it and get rid of it, but it's not happening. It's like heartbreak, right? We get heartbreak because that's where we love from. That's where we keep people in us. We keep people in our hearts, in our minds too, but people we love, we keep them in our heart. And so that's what breaks, right? When we get into a relationship that ends, like they break up with us, but we didn't see it coming, right? That is something you got to heal, that space. You got to know, you got to recall those memories and heal them. And so that video I give you, he gives you instructions on how to heal it, how to go through it. Now, of course, it's probably better to like work with a therapist when you do this, but you could still do it on yourself, okay? As he demonstrates that he did it on himself once, okay? So there's something there. So yeah, if you got like shoulder pains or something and you've done everything you can, like there's nothing wrong, like the doctors don't even know what's wrong with it. Maybe there's some kind of trauma or some kind of memory that you're literally storing there, and you need to release it to release that pain. So I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's a real thing, okay? With all that said, there seems to be a need for you to heal, and maybe it's a self-healing, like a heartbreak. You got to heal yourself when it comes to heartbreak. I mean, yeah, like your friends and family and like doing things can help you get out of it, but ultimately that's you that needs to get out of it. And I feel confident, you know, and I don't want to sugarcoat this, but I do feel confident that you're gonna overcome this. And I feel like by going through it and just accepting it and just like, you know, cry, have a full-on crying session if you need to, go get some ice cream, like do what you gotta do. Don't overdo it, have some self-control, but do what you gotta do to feel it and work it out and get it out and all that. And I feel like when you attack it, you're gonna get over it that much quicker versus if you repress it or kind of like, do it part-time. Like, it's not a part-time thing. Get it done, get it over with. You're gonna get through this really quickly, and you might even be surprised by how quickly you do get over it. And I'm going to go ahead and pull another card for you guys just for some reassurance, okay? Okay, so we got the High Priestess as reassurance, and so the High Priestess is definitely a card of reassurance on her own, okay? Because this has to deal with just trusting in the universe and trusting the flow of things. Believing in your visions, believing in yourself and your intuition. There's even, you could do some dream work here, okay? So there could be a lot of healing going on in your dreams. If you do begin to have nightmares, I feel like there are opportunities to where you could start lucid dreaming. You could start waking up in that nightmare. And like, it's hard to do this, okay? I know a lot of people that lucid dream, especially like everyone's at least woken up once inside their dream and they're aware that they're dreaming, and then it ends. And it's something you have to work on, okay? But if you can, like if you do wake up in a dream, or if you purposely lucid dream, like you go into that, take it as soon as you're aware, like heal something, like maybe say the trigger word, I need to heal, okay? Then maybe something will happen and you could see something or experience something in your dream that will help you heal, okay? Maybe somebody will appear to you, okay, especially if it's someone that's passed on the other side. Maybe they could appear into your dream and it's going to be healing. Or even like angels, okay? Or ancestors. I've had dreams of seeing ancestors, and it's like a healing experience, and like you feel it, like you know they're there, like you're not just making it up because you feel it, right? If you've ever had an experience where you've seen somebody in your dream who's passed over, or even like a cat or a dog or whatever, you just know, right? Like you feel it, okay? And so trust in that. Trust in your feelings and give yourself permission to feel all feelings, not just the good stuff. Like, give yourself permission to feel angry, to feel sad, and work with it and find ways to channel it, okay? So the High Priestess is a card of channeling. And all my tarot readings, I'm channeling. I'm literally just saying whatever comes to my mind, okay? I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, but it seems to make sense to you guys. So I have to trust that. I have to trust what I'm saying is the right thing to say, because, when it's been confirmed to me that it is the right thing to say. And so that's what the High Priestess is about. Trust in it. Whatever it is saying or doing, whatever it is in your life to where you know you need to do something for yourself, for your own benefit, okay? If you're an artist, it sucks, but heartbreak, it's a great time to be a fucking artist, right? It's part of, artists suffer. There's like a meme, I don't know if I'll find it and put it up, but it'll be like a picture of like people who admire art, and like they have like nice clothes on and they look sophisticated, and the guy's got like a beard, right? And they admire the art, and then it shows like the artist, and it's like a person with like their hair's a disaster and they got dark circles under their eyes and they're just like totally suffering and going through it. That's what it is like as an artist. And so even if you're not an artist, art is a great way to channel that pain, whether you want to create dark art out of it or light art. I actually paint as a way to heal. Roosters are actually like my thing when it comes to like when I first began painting. It has a lot to do with an experience as a child in the past. I mean, I already am an artist, and then the rooster symbolism and like what they mean to me, it's like a whole thing. So it's actually really symbolic, and like they're nice. Like it's not a dark thing, but I have drawn dark things, right? So channel it. Like, just because you feel depressed doesn't mean you have to make depressing art, okay? If you feel you need to communicate it, then do that. Communicate through that dark medium, okay? And we have Pluto above my head, right? And then I have Venus, right? So it's because those two planets like are dominant in my chart. I also have Saturn. You can't see it, he's at the very top. And I painted these at all different times. Like they're all like a year apart from each other. Anyways, Pluto and Venus are like Hades and Persephone, right? And I'm a Scorpio Venus, so it's like Scorpio Venus, it's like, Venus is lovey-dovey and beauty and all that good stuff, right? And then Scorpio is Pluto, and it's like dark, it's mysterious, it's goth or whatever. And so it's like, yeah, like combine the two, like tap into that like seductive energy even. I don't know why I'm saying all this, but there's something there. Maybe become a seductress, maybe tap into your Lilith, okay? I made a video about Lilith. If you're interested, it's Lilith in astrology and how to find her in your birth chart. And so maybe that's something for you guys. Tap into the dark feminine. Okay, the High Priestess isn't like the dark feminine, but the feminine is Boaz on the pillars on the tree of life, and it's all like feminine energy, and like feminine energy is dark energy. It's the womb, and so it's just dark energy, and it doesn't mean it's evil or anything. And then the masculine energy is light, or like the sun, okay? You want to combine the two. That's how you get to the middle of the middle pillar, right? But it's like Lilith energy. It's you are the fire, okay? So I'm bringing that up for a reason for you guys. Anyways, this has been a little long, but that's okay. I think you guys deserve it. You deserve the reassurance for sure, because you guys are Leo too. Like, it's not like you to be down and out. I mean, unless like you have water energy or 12th house energy, you might experience it a little more than some other Leos, but I don't know, like for the most part you guys do prevail and you do come through. And so you do just want to tap into like, the diva in you, the dark feminine in you. It's very powerful. Okay, so now let's pull some oracle cards. I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. So we got number 48, teamwork. Crows have mastered teamwork. Mobbing is one example of how crows work together on a common goal. When an intruder or a predator enters their territory, the birds jump into orchestrated action. Each member of the group holds an advantageous position in fighting off the threat. If your situation is a bit more complex, or you could use an extra hand, teamwork will be the solution to finding success. Call upon your team, your family, or your friends to assist you when facing a challenge that requires more than you can comfortably handle. Teamwork strengthens bonds, creates positive memories, and reinforces an awareness that you are not alone. So that's great, Leo. Thank you so much for watching. Virgo, rising, moon, or sun sign. With Virgo on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 10th house of vocation, careers, public image, legacy, long-term plans, and your impact on the world. So for you guys, we got the Eight of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So with the Eight of Pentacles, I got something like, okay, now it's time to go back to work. It's time to go back to school. I feel like up until now, you guys have been kind of like laid back, taking a break, taking the back seat, let everyone else do all the work. And now like Gemini season's here and the Gemini New Moon is here, and like you guys are ready to go, as you should, because it is your 10th house. So it is like back to work, back to school. Okay, for most of you, I feel like you guys are really excited about this. For others, maybe you want to stay chillin', you want to stay on vacation mode, but it's time to put in the work. And with the Eight of Pentacles, there's something here you need to finalize or finish. And so that's why I said it's like it's time to go back to work, back to school. It's time to go back to something and finish it up, okay? So it could be anything in your life. Whatever it is that is left unfinished, now is a good time to go back and complete what you began. And I feel like you guys are going to have a set of new eyes, a fresh new outlook on this. So you're going to approach it in a different way than you have before. And I feel like maybe there is some dread there for a while, or maybe you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go back and do this thing, but I'm unsure how I'm gonna like really go back to it. It's been some time. I don't know if I remember everything, like muscle memory. So like going back to the gym, like I hope I still got muscle memory and like I'm not having to start at the bottom again. Though with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like no, like that's not the case. You do have muscle memory, but it's different now. Like you're gonna get different results, or you're gonna have like different solutions than you had before. So you're gonna be able to complete something and follow through on your plans, but again, there's something new here. Okay, and with the Hierophant, it does have a lot to do with new information you've received, a new outlook on life. You may have even done something in your spiritual path. If you have like a spiritual practice or even like a religious practice, there could be something there that you've been working on or been doing that has changed you overall. And so you have this just new outlook. It has a lot to do with wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom is gained through experience, and knowledge can be as well, or as like intelligence. You know, I guess that's from experience too, but like education is taught and wisdom is experienced, right? And so with the Hierophant, it is like both. Okay, it is like he could probably tell you the Bible front and back, right? Like because he's like the head pope, the head priest, right? He's the Hierophant. Like he represents a religion of whatever it is. You know, he's like a guru, like they know it all, but they've also experienced it all. So not only can they read the Bible or like recite it, I mean, figuratively speaking, right? Like they could just pull up a passage in their head. A lot of people can do this, right? But not only can they do that, they've experienced it, or they've reached a certain level, like a certain thing within themselves to where they understand what that message is, okay? There is like a power behind your words or the words of others. I feel like you're able to find a deeper meaning in life. So aside from what I was saying in the beginning about, you know, it's time to go back at work and finish something, there's something else here. There's like a deeper layer here over the next 6 months when it comes to your 10th house of, you know, like really seeing stuff for what they are instead of what you want them to be. Like really seeing the motive behind other people's words, and also being like more self-aware of your own words and how you go about saying things to people. Okay, especially when it deals with the 10th house, okay? So this is your self-image and also your career, your legacy, and like how you want to be remembered. This is also, it's also who you are online, the 10th house, because this is your image. This is how this is your place in the world. And something like the internet or like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, like it's a place where we can go to express ourselves and to put on, even if we are authentic in what we're putting on an act for everybody. We're kind of showing people our best parts. Some people show their worst parts, right? Or some people show their hurt parts. You know, they do poetry or their art or whatever, or they just express that they're upset, right? Whatever it is, it's a place for us to really put ourselves out there in the world. And so that's what all of this that I've been saying has to deal with. It has to deal with, your place in the world. And again, there's something new and fresh here. I feel like you've been taking time off, and it's really, really paid off very well for you guys, actually. It was absolutely necessary for you to take a step back. And I think you guys are now seeing that. Maybe at first you were kind of like, you felt a little like guilty about it, because Virgos aren't one to just stop working, right? You guys are one of the signs that likes to keep going and keep pushing forward, especially as an earth sign. But earth needs rest, okay? Mother Nature needs to rest. That's what winter is for. It's so she can go to sleep. It's the story of Hades and Persephone. That's how we get, in the Greek mythology, that's how we get winter. Hades kidnaps her and takes her into the underworld, and the world dies. It's essentially winter. And there's actually a lot of rituals around winter time too. So this full moon, the Gemini full moon, will occur in winter, or I guess like right before winter. It's in December, so winter's not till later. But maybe there's something you could do around the winter solstice, dealing with this reading and everything I've been saying, and it's 14:41 on the clock, to where you can just like really celebrate yourself, okay? Really see your accomplishments as well. I feel like there's something really powerful here around the winter solstice. So for those of you who do that kind of work, I feel like you're gonna have a great ritual or whatever it is you do, celebration, Christmas even, that's part of the winter solstice. It's part of celebrations of winter. The symbology of bringing the tree into the home is bringing the living earth into your home when they're at a time when everything is dormant. The star on the top of the tree, I know there's like Christianity, it's the star, it's supposed to be like the Star of Bethlehem, right? It's all symbolic of Jesus, but on a pagan level, where all of this comes from, the star represents the sun, honoring the sun because it's low, right? It's gotten lower, and it's cold, it's dark, there's less sunlight, and so you do rituals around the sun to bring that light back in. And that's kind of like what the trees are for, is to bring that light back into the home, because it's a dark time. So anyways, didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I feel maybe there's something there. Yeah, just a powerful time for you guys. And I feel like overall, like, you don't have to wait to the end of the year to see that unfolding. So I think I'm going to stop there. Let's go ahead and pull an oracle card. I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. Okay, so for you guys, we got 33 Night. Number 33, Night. It is here that all the chatter, all the noise, all the action of the day subsides and quiet returns. Night creates a space to contemplate the day as a whole. What event had the most significant impact and will help you grow? Are there events such as a petty squabbles that serve you little and can be released into the dark? Night brings to your awareness your sleep hygiene. The ability to get a solid 8 hours of sleep has been proven to not only help your mood, but also improve your health. Both dementia and heart disease are linked to lack of sleep. Do you practice healthy sleeping habits? Are your nights filled with restorative sleep, or does your racing mind keep you awake? When the Night card appears, you may need to focus on creating a healthy bedtime routine. So that's interesting. I didn't really get bedtime in here, but maybe there's something to that, and maybe it makes sense to you guys. So Virgo, thank you so much for watching. Libra, rising, moon, or sun. With Libra on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 9th house of higher learning, philosophy, religion, long distance travel, publications, luck and fortune, and moral values. So for you guys, we got the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so something is churning here. I feel like it's churning in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune typically doesn't show you what the outcome is. It's just letting you know that something is turning in your fate, something, and it's not always in your favor, but I feel like it's in your favor. And with the Page of Pentacles, I think it's in your favor because there's something here that's happening. Some kind of new insight and information is coming in, whether or not you're in school or you're seeking knowledge or philosophy or anything like that. It's still 9th house energy. So there's some kind of higher calling or higher knowing coming in. Okay, so on one end, there's something here about learning something new, about discovering something new, and on the other end, it's something that is just kind of like happen. Like you don't really have to like take classes or anything, although if that's what you decide to do, then do it. But it's just something that's going to enter into your life. Okay, the Page of Pentacles is a sign that you are eager to learn, that you are interested in not only just self-discovery, but you're looking for some kind of new personal growth, something that's going to help benefit you. Okay, so I'm getting something like a makeover even. So, I mean, this is Libra we're talking about. So maybe you could benefit from a makeover. Maybe that changes your outlook on life, because maybe like your makeover, like the way people approach you is different. Okay. You know, maybe you get bangs or something, or you dye your hair a crazy color and like people just treat you differently and talk to you differently. Okay, so there's something here, some kind of growth and transformation that you're gonna go through, to where people are they're gonna shift with you. Like they're gonna give you, and I feel like the attention they give you is attention that you're looking for, or even if you don't expect it, or it's the attention that you need. Okay, so it's not a cry for help, although it could be. I think it's more just you wanting to align to a purpose, and the Wheel of Fortune is doing that for you. It's aligning you to a purpose. For some of you, you could experience some stagnation. Okay, maybe things just aren't really going anywhere. Maybe things got worse. Okay, maybe it just seems like no matter how hard you try, it's just like the same shit just keeps happening. I feel like now, in order to get out of that, I think you do need to change something, your appearance, your outlook, change your route. And there's another sign, I believe it was Taurus, to where they had to redirect their path. If not, it was Gemini had to redirect their path in order to like shift everything into a new direction, and it's for the better. For them, it was also like, it's not something they have to do. There could be something that comes up in their life to where they have to go a different route. So the analogy I gave is like their way to work. Like, let's say the road that they use is closed for like the entire year, so they have to go a different way. Like they don't have a choice, right? Like they're forced to. But by going that new route, something happens that's like life-changing. You know, maybe they discover, I didn't say this, but maybe like they discover like a restaurant or like some kind of business along the way, or just something, and or they meet somebody along the way, and it's just like life-changing. So it's something like that. Okay, that's happening for you. So I feel like you could initiate this, like a makeover. That's something you're doing. I mean, if you have the patience, or if you feel like it's something you have to wait for, then wait for it, because we are dealing with the Wheel of Fortune. It's not decided right now. It's up in the air, and it could be up in the air for the next 6 months as well. With the Page of Pentacles, this is a good time for you to study as well as apply what you learn. Like as soon as you learn something or pick up something new, you want to get right to it. You want to get working. Okay, so a best example I could give is I started buying waist beads, and I was interested in the beads they use. They're like little seed beads, or what they call glass seed beads, at least the ones I got. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I can make my own, right? And so I went ahead and bought some seeds, and then I don't know why, like something said, okay, well, I want to make jewelry, because I make jewelry, right? And I came up with all these ideas, like, okay, I can make beaded jewelry, and like I've seen some of that. And then I like this thought, okay, like a loom, right, to where I could like make like you know, like you sew the beads in and you make like beaded jewelry that way. And so I bought a loom, and then I got the beads because I order them through Etsy, and like it takes some time, it takes like a week or two. And I got the beads before I knew I was gonna get a loom for them. And when I got them, they're actually really small. I'm like, okay, these are too small for waist beads, but they're perfect for this new loom I just bought that I wasn't expecting to buy, but I bought, right? I went with my instinct, and now I'm learning how to use it and do beaded jewelry that way, or whatever else I decide to make. And and that is that action of just jumping on it, like just going with it, just like I'm buying these beads for one intent, and then I get some new ideas along the way, and now I'm using it for something else that I wasn't initially attending. I kind of was intending to use it for joy, but not in this way. So it could start like that. It's the Wheel of Fortune. You don't know how it's gonna end up. So the best advice here is to just like jump on the ideas you have, like go with it. Like if you have an instinct to like, I want to buy this thing, I don't really know why, I have an interest in it, let's just go ahead and buy it. And then along the way you might start discovering new things with what it is. Like my thing was, you know, the beads, and it turned into something else. So there's something else like that happening right now with the Page of Pentacles. It's like once you apply it and like put it out there, like it will reciprocate. Not only that, but it's going to open up doors and avenues. And that's kind of what the Wheel of Fortune does as well. It opens up all the potential in the world. And again, I didn't know it was going to end up the way it is now, which I know eventually it will turn into something else. But it's just a perfect example of how it just unfolded. It just unraveled itself. But Page of Pentacles, you have to like do the work. You have to it's material. It's very much to do with, again, getting physical with it. Okay. And so it was actually a really short reading, but I feel like that's literally all I need to say. I feel like you don't want to complicate this. You just want to do it. And again, especially if you're like been in a bad place or just struggling, it's now time for you to break out and just do it. Like, don't think about it. Don't worry about what others think. You don't even have to tell people. You just do it, right? So yeah, that's where we are. Let's go ahead and pull oracle cards for you guys. Let's pull from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. Okay, so for you guys, we got number 15, distraction. 15, distraction. Two crows work together to distract a dog. The purpose? To steal something it values, something that provides nourishment. It's food. Someone or a situation may be calling you away from what you need to focus on, and as a result, you may end up losing something of value. Where are you turning your attention? Will it prove beneficial or a waste of time and resources? Distraction appears when your attention is focused on daydreaming or engaging in activities that take you away from doing the work, and that in the end will create success. Distraction can also be as simple as being lured into binging your favorite show or focusing on a flight of fancy that will prove to be nothing more than a waste of time. When distraction is pulled in a reading, you may need to consider if the situation you were inquiring about is in fact nothing more than a distraction, something that is taking your attention away from a more valuable opportunity. It may also serve as a warning that a successful conclusion may be at risk due to something drawing your attention away from the goal. So I hope that resonated and made sense for you. I didn't really seem to get that in the reading, but maybe there is a distraction. Maybe you need to distract yourself from that distraction with, like I said, like a makeover, just doing something else entirely different. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys, Libra. Thank you for watching. Scorpio rising moon or sun sign. With Scorpio on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 8th house of rebirth, transformation, inheritance, marriage, the hidden mysteries, and personal/soul development. Okay, so for you guys, we got the 6 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So we're dealing with water energy here. This has to deal with your emotions and feelings. It can also deal with dreams and intuition and all that good stuff. So this is your 8th house that we're dealing with, which is your guys' house, okay? This is the house that Scorpio naturally rules over. And so this energy may feel really comfortable or really familiar to you guys already, okay? Because we are dealing with Gemini. I feel like you do have a need to communicate something, or there's certain ideas arising at this time. There could even be things from the past coming up, whether it is thoughts, people, situations, maybe just like at random, something just like comes to mind and you start remembering something. So on one aspect, there could be some trauma involved. Otherwise, this has a lot to do with healing and emotional healing. And if it is someone from the past, it's this Knight of Cups energy. So it could be a past lover or the fuckboy, depending on your situation. So it tends to have romantic connotations, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be somebody that you share a deep, intimate connection with, okay? Which I think Scorpios tend to do anyways with people who are close to them. But I feel like this person is like they know you, like a twin, not a twin flame, but like somebody who just like you don't have to say anything. Like maybe they are a Scorpio as well. This is Scorpio, of course. I don't know why I was thinking this was Pisces, but Pisces is the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups. So, I mean, you could be dealing with a Pisces, but you are dealing with a Scorpio or someone who exhibits that Scorpio energy. So maybe it is a Gemini, or they have Gemini placements because they are going to exhibit that Scorpio energy in your life because they fall into your 8th house anyways, okay? So if it's not a person, either way, there's something that could be coming back from the past for you to heal. So there could be an apology. There could even just be a remembrance, okay? I'm getting forgiveness here. Maybe you're remembering something or somebody that you once forgiven. Maybe there's new information about them, or maybe they just come up in conversation. I do feel like, I know sometimes I always say like, it doesn't have to be like a person or romantic, but I do feel like that's the case. Like I do feel like this is all about another person, and Gemini is the twin, and we are dealing with 8th house energy. So this is a mirror, somebody who is a mirror to you, whether or not they're like your exact self or even an exact opposite of you. They are somehow a mirror of you and to you, okay? So there's a lot to rediscover and remember. Okay, there's a lot of, because the 6 of Cups is all about shit coming up from the past, and also like apologies, okay, acceptance. It could even be like bonding with each other. I can't think of what the phrase or word I was thinking of. Yeah, I lost it, but there's something I was thinking. Maybe you guys know intuitively what I was gonna say. Yeah, it just has to do with like, it's like when two people get together, reminiscing. So there could be reminiscing with this person, and so yeah, so it's like a mutual thing too, okay? So if none of this is the case, there's some kind of mutual reception happening, and this will unfold for 8 months or 6 months up until the Gemini full moon, which is on December 4th. And so maybe this is preparation for somebody coming back into your life, and you don't know who. Maybe they come back in December, or maybe there's a build up here with this person, and there's like a finalization in December. Maybe you start a new relationship with somebody right at this time. Maybe you've recently went on some kind of new adventure, or took up something new that removed you from the home, whatever that is, literally, or your home city, or something that was like your security, right? Like your foundation. I feel like for some of you, there's something here where like you left that, okay? And so like you're connecting with somebody who reminds you of that, okay? Or they ground you. So there's like a lot of things that like this could be, but definitely somebody is here. There's definitely a twin energy here. Now, maybe for one person or a very, very few of you, this could be like somebody on the other side, which seems to be a theme. I've noticed there's themes. Each new moon, there seems to be a theme across all the signs. And for this one, it's about neutrality. And then like the good and bad, and like recognizing your good and your bad, and just like a whole other things that has to do with just the duality. But also like, oh God, I lost it. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I don't know. I had to pause and really think. I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, there's like something here. Maybe you guys know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry I lost my train of thought, but maybe it's for the better. So there's something else here, the neutrality, and then there's something else that like all the signs seem to be experiencing. So if you watch for your other signs, then maybe you'll pick up on it, like how they relate to this reading, okay? So I'm terribly sorry that I lost track. And I don't want to pause this and rewind and all that. We're just going to keep going, okay? And actually, I feel like I said what needs to be said. Your guys is kind of short. Like Libra was really short. I'm not sure why. I think it's just like for you guys, you just want to get straight to the point. You know, like let's especially Libra. I mean, I know Libra like will be indecisive, and I think that's why they want to get straight to the point. And they are ruled by Saturn, or Saturn is exalted there, and so and it's about justice and fairness, and justice is like straight to the point, or it's supposed to be, right? Well, there's a lot of things that really aren't just, and justice is based on whatever rules and regulations and laws that your country made, and they may not be morally correct or whatever it is. So it's whatever. It's just, regardless, they just want to get straight to the point. So, and maybe you need to get straight to the point with this person. Like, quit beating around the bush with them. Like, talk, communicate, okay? Like, share ideas, share your experiences, be honest, be upfront, open your heart. Even I feel like they're going to open their heart, or you need to, or you both need to. I think it's safe. I mean, if you don't think it's safe, then please listen to yourself. Don't take my advice. But generally speaking, I think this is safe, or it's safe for you to heal from this, okay? If you're like in a survival mode, just remind yourself that it's safe now, okay? Especially if this person comes back and they bring up some memories you don't want to remember. Don't suppress that, but you know, I understand. Just give yourself permission that it's okay and that you're safe, and that some things are necessary, okay, for growth and transformation. That's what we're dealing with here. So let's go ahead and pull an oracle card for you guys. I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. Okay, so for you guys, we got number 6, bond. I mean, isn't that just like not a coincidence? Like, it's meant to be. Okay, number 6, bond. Aside from a few casual swingers, generally males, crows and ravens mate for life. Bond represents a karmic relationship, a connection that goes beyond our everyday existence. Whether it is a relationship to a person, a career, a place, or a hobby, this soul-level connection is deep and strong. You can feel it course within your veins. Bond creates an energy that pulls you closer to where you need to be and will tug back when you get too far away. When you draw the bond card, use this as an opportunity to focus on areas of your life that feel deeply connected, because it is here that you find your strength to push forward or conjure the enthusiasm needed to reach a goal. So thank you for watching, Scorpio, and I'll catch you in the next video. Sagittarius, rising, moon, or sun sign. With Sagittarius on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 7th house of connection to others, integration, union, partnerships, diplomacy, and contracts. So for you guys, we have the 3 of Cups, as well as the 8 of Pentacles. And so with the 3 of Cups, I feel like there's a reunion happening. So now I'm getting like maybe there's a high school reunion or something, or just like reunion with people from the past, okay? They could also be past business partners or people you have like affiliation with. So maybe it's like childhood friends, or it's like our college buddies or something, and like maybe you guys all had like like maybe there was like a dream and aspiration you guys all had, but for whatever reason it didn't work out. Like everyone went their own ways, and you know, they went along their path, and now like you guys are able to reunite and actually like followed through on those plans that you guys had. So it could be like that. Okay, that sounds really specific, but there could be something of that nature, okay, where you are reuniting. On one end too, it's also celebration. It's also about celebrating your accomplishments, usually with other people. So it could be a group accomplishment, or just people like recognizing you, or you recognizing somebody else, and you're all celebrating that together. Okay, and with the 8 of Pentacles, this also, it's business. It could be education, just any kind of project, anything that you work on. So again, it doesn't have to be like business or education, but it's probably going to be, as well as there's like not only this like reunion, but with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like unfinished business. Like you guys are able to complete unfinished business, or personally speaking, you're able to complete some kind of unfinished business. Some kind of paid dues is what I'm getting. There's some, you owed something, maybe that's karmic, maybe it's something else. Paying your dues, showing respect even. It's kind of like you are letting people know you appreciate them and respect them, value them, or you're letting people know that you look up to them, like maybe you even meet like idols or something like that. Yeah, so it's like a lot of things going on right now. I feel like there's a lot of activity, and I mean, this is 7th house that we're dealing with, so this is like relationships. It's typically one-on-one relationships, but it could involve other people, and it's just like your one-on-one with each of them, okay? And it's going to be different, but at the same time, like there's this common goal, okay? And that's kind of like what Libra strives for, which is what the 7th house is ruled over. It's a Libra house, okay? It's all about seeing eye to eye with people and reaching a common goal. It's justice, right? It's about seeking justice in every shape and form. And I mentioned something in the Scorpio reading about that, okay? And now I'm thinking of a card I pulled the other day. I'm pulling daily tarot or oracle cards. I didn't do one yesterday, but I'll do one today at the time I'm recording this. And I'm recording this 2 days after the Gemini full moon, so I apologize for new moon. I apologize for that, but I didn't want to read on the new moon, and then yesterday I couldn't do it. But anyways, there's a card I pulled about karmic justice, and it was just speaking about how not all karma is the same. So yeah, somebody could get karma for something they've done to you, but it's not going to be in the way that you might expect or hope it to be, because they live a different life than you, and so the way life affects them is going to be different. We don't all go through the same hardships. We all go through hardships and accomplishments, but not in the same way. So yeah, just wanted to bring that up. Another thing about this is, it's again, busy time. It's Gemini energy. It's you know, for whatever reason, it's straight to the point, but I think that's just your Sagittarius energy. You know, it's straight to the point. This is opposing you as well, your sun, moon, or rising, and so this is getting you to, I said something about seeing eye to eye. I think it's getting you to see other people's perspectives in maybe a way you couldn't have, or maybe you were just, you know, the stubborn Sagittarius that you are, and just like, yeah, like letting them say what they gotta say, but like still, you know, having your own thoughts about it. I feel like now you're able to be like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get their perspective. You know, I see more than just mine, my perspective, which I feel like Sag is kind of like an Aquarius, where they're pretty open. Like they're open to how other people are, but they are like secretly like just like, oh, those people are wrong, you know, or I'm right, or I know everything, or whatever. Kind of like this arrogance, because it's fire. But at the same time, it's just like, so sometimes it is hard for them to see others' perspective, which is a fire sign energy. Okay, and then Aquarius, but Gemini, which is your opposite sign, but also Aquarius. I say Aquarius because it's like, there's like this, Aquarius is about the collective, right? And it allows other people to be themselves while they have their own personal identity. Okay, and their own personal identity tends to be very different from everyone else around them. Okay, like they are able to operate as themselves, as an individual within a group. Okay, and that's so what Sagittarius does too. And probably all fire signs, but I just see similarities between Sag and Aquarius. So maybe there's something there too. Maybe you know Aquarius. But either way, yeah, you're able to see other people's perspectives. You're able to see a truth as well. Okay. And with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like there's some hard work laid out ahead of you. Okay, so yeah, like maybe you are reuniting with somebody's and like fulfilling like an oath you guys gave to each other in college, but you know, you went your own separate ways, and now it's time to like put in work. Like you guys said it as like just to say it, but it's a reality. Okay. And so with that said, I feel like it's important for you to apply your skills and like offer what it is you have to offer, almost offer everything you've got, but at the same time, like maybe offer everything you got to like this in particular, the Three of Cups, whatever that is in your life. Like you could, it's not like putting all your eggs in one basket, but like you could trust them to give them your best. Okay, give them your best performance, your best stuff, your secrets. Maybe not your secrets, I know how Sagittarius are with that, but like you're able to show them true colors and true genuine from your heart, like from a genuine place. Okay, which is something Sagittarius, I don't think they like to be vulnerable. And so I feel like this situation, these people, whatever it is that is arising for you, it's allowing you to be vulnerable. And I think that's really, really important, especially for you guys. Okay, and again, there's this hard work aspect. There's something here about finishing what you started. So it's like putting your head down. That's all I'm really getting. So there's something else, but I can't really pick up on it. Okay, so I actually feel like that's it for you guys. Like, again, like you, Scorpio and Libra, have kind of short readings, so we're just gonna go with it. I think I drove the point home. So now let's pull an oracle card, and I'm gonna pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. So for you guys, we got number 29, memory. 29, memory. Crows never forget a friend or a foe. In a changing populated landscape, these remarkable birds recognize the faces of those who have hurt them, as well as help. When crows spot a predator or known human who has been less than kind, they go into a frenzy, calling out to all that danger is near. They spread the word about the good stuff too, such as people who tend to share their lunch or places where food is often discarded. What is remarkable is they also pass down the memory of their experience to their young. As complex as these birds are, forgiveness does not seem too likely. Memory asks you to examine areas where you may be letting a past hurt or situation impact how you engage with someone today. Are you cautious or holding a grudge? Do you expect others to behave in a certain way because of a past behavior? So I think that's good. I think that resonates with what we were talking about to some degree. So thank you, Sagittarius, for watching. Capricorn, rising, moon, or sun. With Capricorn on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 6th house of daily routine, health and habits, work ethics, services, performance, and skills. For you guys, we have the 5 of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So the first thing that came to me with the 5 of Swords is not all losses are the same. So with that, I'm getting like, maybe don't put all your losses into one basket. Like, don't look at them all as like the same thing. Okay, I know this is gonna be really like hypocritical of me to say, but it's like, don't see yourself like as a failure because, you know, you constantly make mistakes or something. It is like a Capricorn trait. I mean, I'm a Capricorn sun. I actually posted a meme the other day, and I'll put it on the screen because I have it readily available, but it's like, yeah, we make mistakes and we feel horrible about it because Capricorns, we were taught to be the best, and we were raised to work hard and do things for ourselves, and you're your own boss and things like that. And so when we make a mistake, like, we take it to heart, right? We take it really personal. But it's like, we all make mistakes, but like Capricorn, just like there's no excuse. Okay, that's kind of like our upbringing too. Like, there's no excuse to make mistakes. And like, you might have heard that from like your father even, that like, you know, when you're trying to explain yourself, he's probably told you that you're making up excuses and you're not, right? I mean, I know I wasn't. I was being honest and real, and you know, when I was told that. So like, but it's a very Capricorn thing. Okay, it's a very it's Saturn. Okay, we're ruled by Saturn. We're children of Saturn. Okay, so with the 5 of Swords, there's some kind of loss happening, and not all losses are the same. And then I got the Ace of Cups, and I thought, okay, well, that's really cool, because I think there's something here, a realization, but also like there's like a cleansing or a washing away. So we have like these clouds. The clouds are clearing in this card, but I feel like in our case, there's clouds approaching, or there's been clouds overhead for some time, and now it's like raining. Or every time it rains, whatever that is, you know, literally or metaphorically, there's a cleansing. there's a purification, even if it's difficult, okay? Even if there's like difficult things we're going through, there's purification in it, which is also like a Capricorn thing, you know, the sacrificial goat. I mean, it's just what it is. I feel like there's an opportunity then for you to cleanse for something that you've been battling with a really long time. I feel like on one aspect it's like you're giving up, but it's not like you're giving up. You're just tired of fighting, and you're also finding no use in fighting. Like, you're starting to see how you've been fighting alone this entire time. And it's kind of sad to say that, and it may not be the case entirely, but there's probably something in your life where you've been fighting it alone, and like you're the only one, and like no one knows about it. I mean, we fight our own battles, don't get me wrong, and I'm not like, you know, I'm not like undervaluing something that you are going through if you are, or whatever. Like, I'm not telling you that you're wrong, but there are things that we fight on our own, and it's like, because we're stuck in it, it's human, and you know, if we have trauma especially, it's really hard to get out of it. But sometimes you have to just like wake up to the fact that like it's like no one else cares, and it's not that no one else cares, but it's just like, why do you care, right? Like, why do you care so much, Capricorn? They say Capricorns are cold-hearted, but like, we care very deeply, and we're only cold because it's like we're selective, because we know that emotions, everything to us is of value. Okay, it's Saturn. Emotions are very valuable to us. You can't trust everyone, right? But like, there comes a time, and I'm losing my train of thought, but like there comes a time when it's just like, what are we doing this for? Like, what are you fighting? And it's like, if you're fighting it alone, and you wake up to that idea, what is it then that is keeping you fighting? Are you trying to prove something? Okay, are you trying to seek some kind of karmic justice on them? Like, I refuse to seek revenge on them, so I'm just gonna let the universe do its thing, and you know, they hurt me and shame on them, you know, and then meanwhile they're living the time of their life, right? And it's hard, and that only fuels it. Like, that only adds fire to the flame, or whatever, fuel to the flame, right? You're adding more fire to fire by doing that, you know. And I feel silly saying that because it sounds really like a personal attack, but I mean, I think we're all going through the same thing. I know Capricorns, there's a lot of Capricorns in my life, and even Capricorn moons, and so like, well, I don't know how many Capricorn moons there are, but just that energy alone, yeah, like we all go through like these weird fights and battles and like all that, and we kind of like do things to ourselves, because that's how we grow, that's how we accomplish anything. It's climbing the mountain. You got to pit yourself through it to succeed, if you want to succeed. And so I think there's a time now with this new moon that's getting you to wake up to the fact that you don't, maybe you're wrong, or maybe what I wanted to say earlier is like, you need to relinquish control, because maybe part of you fighting is a need for control of a situation that you have no control over. Okay, so that's why this Ace of Cups is here, because it's time to purify that, and to kind of like get over yourself, if that's the case. It's not like so much get over it, move on, but it's just like, what's important to you right now? And is this thing that you're fighting for in your top 3? And if it is, maybe you need to reevaluate a little bit more. But if it's not in your top 3 of what's truly important to you, like right now in this moment, okay, besides like, you know, needing shelter and food and, you know, money to live in the world, but like, what's important to you right now? And I promise you, and I guarantee you that, you know, if what it is you're fighting is not top 3, then why are you fighting? Okay, so I think that's really cool, because there's clarity. Okay, and so even if you don't feel like you're getting clarity now, this is 6 months of clarity. Okay, this is 6 months of clearing. This is your 6th house, so there's even a need for you to adopt a new habit, a new lifestyle, switch something. I got a new cat. I actually got a cat the day before the Gemini New Moon, and he's right here. He's right here. I don't know if he's so cute and so little, and he's like a void. Okay, he's a black kitty. I've always wanted one, so that's his debut. Actually, I'm debuting my cat. I'll post a picture, but that is him. I'll keep his name off YouTube for now, but yeah, like I actually literally got a new cat, and before this new moon, and I'm a Capricorn, and like it's literally switching and changing my perspective just overnight. I mean, I have a new priority of taking care of him because he's basically an infant child, you know, and so I have to make sure like he grows and everything's fine up until a point where, you know, he could just be a cat and do his thing. And so like that's my focus right now. Like that's my top 3 priority right now, not what the shit that I've been fighting and struggling with. I mean, there's a lot of things, but the main thing, like I don't need to give a fuck about that right now. And it's not so much anymore, because I truly do still give a fuck, right? I mean, we care, we really do, but I think, you know, you're gonna be given an opportunity, if you haven't already, to just focus on other areas of your life, okay? And that's like the Ace of Cups. It's bringing in something new. It could also bring in a new relationship for those of you who, you know, are single. Even if you're not, it could be a platonic or like a best friend, like a platonic relationship that turns into like a best friend union. It is usually romantic, or there could be a renewal in relationships. There could be a fresh start with a relationship or like a business partner, or yeah, like just there's an opportunity here with that, okay? And again, a purifying, cleansing moment and time for you, and I think that's awesome because you guys need it. And you know, Saturn just went into Aries, and every time Saturn changes signs, and a Capricorn is going to feel it, okay? And Neptune's there, and so it's extra confusing and difficult right now. And so because everything's so confusing and uncertain, it is just a good time to just focus on your main 3. Pick 3 things to focus on and just stick with that. All right, and that's like the best advice I could give. So let's go ahead and pull an oracle card for you. I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. Okay, so for you guys, we got number 25, influence. Oh, it looks like bad influence. Very naughty. Okay, 25, influence. Like impressionable teenagers, crows pick up on our habits, even the bad ones. Crows have been known to get drunk as well as smoke. Are you letting someone influence your behavior? There is a loss of control when influence is at play. A more dominant personality may make you feel inclined to engage in a risky behavior you would otherwise avoid. On the flip side, you may find someone strong and healthy to be inspirational, and because of their influence, you too feel motivated to make positive changes. Influence brings to your awareness the decisions that you may not have made if it weren't for an outside force leading the way. Like a Pied Piper leading the way with intoxicating music, you may be caught in another spell. A situation, whether it be current from the past or in the near future, may be the result of someone's charm or talent at swaying people. When influence appears, consider taking a moment to examine if you have been swayed into making a decision that you might not have made if the situation were different. For example, a salesperson may influence your decision to buy something you can't afford if they know the right way to manipulate you. That is really cool and powerful, and I definitely relate to that. So thank you for watching, Capricorn, and I'll catch you in the next video. Aquarius rising, moon, or sun sign. With Aquarius on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 5th house of self-expression, creativity, passions, hobbies, personal interests, dating life, and children. Okay, so for you guys, we got the 3 of Cups as well as the Devil. The 3 of Cups I actually got for Sagittarius, and you might want to watch that part because I didn't mention Aquarius. So unless you have, like, if you don't know anyone who is a Sagittarius or you don't think that's important, then you don't have to watch it. But there could be a link there because I did make a link between you guys. So with the 3 of Cups here, there is something here. There's an accomplishment here that you've been working on behind the scenes. With the Devil card, I feel like this is something you've done in secret, something you've like nobody knew about, like that, like you kept it a really, really good secret, first of all. Or it's just something you've done like behind someone's back. And so there's some trickster to this, but I feel like it wasn't meant to hurt them, and it's almost like a surprise, or you knew that if you let them know, they would tell you no, right? They wouldn't let you or want you to, and you didn't want to hurt that relationship, so you just did it in secret. And so now it's time for you to reveal what that is and like let the cat out the bag. Okay, so you want to be careful because it's the Devil card. You don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get out of this person if that's the case. They could react in a way to where they just lose all trust in you, or they will, maybe at first they'll be upset because you did something behind their back, but they'll come around and see the value in that and the importance in that, and they'll see it in a positive light because of what it's doing for you, of how it has greatly benefited you. Okay, so it's kind of like doing things against your mother's wishes, or like, you know, maybe your parents maybe come from like a traditional home and your parents want to, like, you know, go grow up, be a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever, or do this and that. And so maybe you are doing that, like maybe you are like studying to be a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, like, or if you're too young to be in college, whatever, but you do something else secretly, like maybe secretly you're an artist, you know, and because it's so traditional and you're afraid they're gonna ban art from, you know, like you from doing art, you don't tell them about it, right? And so it's just like a secret, and then you finally tell them and show them like, hey, I'm actually an artist, and like this is what I've been doing this entire time. And at first it'd be like, oh my god, like how could you? But then they take the time to look at your art and it's like, oh, actually this is beautiful, like this is amazing. And so they'll come around to the idea of you being an artist now. They'll accept you, because that's something with the Three of Cups, that there's some acceptance here, an acceptance from others, from the crowd, or from like people who have some kind of meaning or importance to you. But yeah, with the Devil card though, there is some secrecy here, and the Devil card's also about setting yourself free, and so that is something that will set you free as well. It's kind of like coming out of the closet. It's like, you know, and maybe that's something you need to do, but it's like you could finally let everyone know who you truly are and what you're really about. So yeah, it could even just be a project that you've kept secret, some kind of business idea, some kind of something you've just been working on, you couldn't tell people about it, or maybe you could only say little bits about it. Okay, so I think that's great. Maybe you've already revealed this, because I am recording this after the full moon, or the new moon. I keep saying full moon, but at the same time this is leading up to the Gemini full moon, so maybe you are beginning now on something secretive, and then later you could reveal it. And so this is more like prophetic, it's more predicting your future, but at the same time you could be coming out of it. So it could be either or, you're going into this or you're coming out of this, the new moon. So I think that's great. I think it's very liberating, okay, especially from the Devil card. You're liberating yourself from the bonds of your own desires or your own self-doubt or limitations, okay, or the limitations of others. So that's a big thing here, is freeing yourself from that. Okay, so I think that's all I need to say. Honestly, I think it's a very powerful message. So let's go ahead and pull an oracle card. I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. So for you guys, we got number 43, Sacred Space. And it's one of my favorite cards in this deck. Number 43, Sacred Space. Maybe your sacred space is your nest, your home, or maybe it's the beach, or your favorite path in the woods. Sacred space may also point to an inner place, a belief you hold dear. It is a place that brings comfort and nurtures your development. This is your sanctuary. When you receive this card, it is a call to rejuvenate your spirit. It is time to connect with the healing energy of your sacred space. Make time to connect with this space, as it will help you center your energy and recharge your spirit. So thank you for watching, Aquarius, and I'll see you next time. Pisces rising moon or sun sign. With Pisces on the ascendant, this new moon will be placed in your 4th house of ancestry, home, family, environment, and foundations, emotional security, and domestic affairs. Okay, so for you guys, we got the 4 of Cups as well as the Queen of Wands. Now with the 4 of Cups, I feel like you guys are wanting to go like hermit mode. Like you're wanting to take a step back and kind of just like chill for a moment, like just take a break, okay? I feel maybe it has to do with Saturn leaving your sign. It's not for final though. When Saturn goes retrograde later, it's going to go back into Pisces, but about I think like February in 2026 it will finally leave Pisces for good, okay, and go back into Aries. So I feel like you can catch a break right now, okay, from the chains of Saturn, from the threshold of Saturn, okay? So on one end it is a chance for you to really just step back and just kind of like let everyone else do their thing. I was kind of getting that with Virgo. Whereas with Virgo, it's like they're coming out of that. They went into a space where they're just taking a step back and letting everyone else do their thing. Now it's like your turn to do that because they're out of that now. Like they're stepping into just going back to work and going back out there and doing their thing. So for you guys, it's the other way. It's time for you to just chill, okay? Like take a break, take a breather. There's also something else that you're not accepting or seeing clearly. So maybe your perception of a situation isn't the full story, or you're telling yourself something that isn't true to kind of like you're trying to comfort yourself with lies. Or if it's like you have third-hand knowledge of this, maybe you don't have the clear picture, and so maybe someone's trying to manipulate you. Okay, I'd be wary of that. But with Neptune out of Pisces as well, I feel like, with Neptune and Pisces, it probably strengthened your intuition, especially as it crossed your personal placements, and especially if you're a Pisces moon and it crossed your moon, you probably picked back up or enhanced your abilities, even if you're not like intuitive or like psychic or whatever, which is hard to believe because Pisces is inherently, maybe like you did something creative, or you like reconnected with a lost part of yourself. But at the same time, Neptune can make things really fuzzy and unclear and kind of just like easily manipulatable. Like, so you could have dealt with people who were manipulating you and maybe you finally saw through it, and so now like you're still dealing with some of these people maybe, and like they can't manipulate you anymore. Okay, your defenses are up. You see now. You could see clearly now, okay, is what I'm getting. So yeah, on one end, you seem to want to kind of withdraw at this moment, take a break. At the same time, I feel like you've gained so much clarity now with like Neptune and Saturn out of your sign. It's like you like really like take a step back and like think about it all. Like, damn, that really just happened. Like, that's crazy, right? So I think the thing about being a Pisces is that you're not, you tend to be led on to believe something that isn't true, or people kind of manipulate something with you or about you to control you. It's like the downside of Pisces. It's not always the case. On same thing though, Pisces can end up doing to this to other people. So maybe be aware of that. The Queen of Wands is about self-awareness, okay? This is Aries. She has great self-awareness here. She presents herself whole to the world, okay? She's not looking directly forward like some of the other court cards. She's looking off to the side, but she's open. She's open to the world. And she's also got this little black kitty here. And then she's holding a sunflower. And it's 16:16 on the clock. And there could be some like forgiveness here, or you just, I got this card at least once, maybe for Gemini. I think Gemini got this card. And so it is about like coming back to yourself and kind of just like stepping into your power and just owning up to your mistakes, because it makes you a more trustworthy person. It makes you more respectable. Like maybe some people will make fun of you for it or think you're weak or whatever, but if you can admit fault, like it actually makes you a better person, okay? because it shows that you have critical thinking and that you don't necessarily let your ego like get in the way of everything. Okay, so there's something here about that. Something when it comes to your ego, kind of like fine-tuning it. Okay, there's a sense of needing to let go of certain things in order to do that. So you don't have to like go through a complete ego death, which I think people glorify too much. I feel like a real ego death is a very painful and scary and dramatic and extremely difficult experience. I don't think it is what a lot of new agers say it is. So maybe you have to go through that, or maybe you did go through that, okay, with Neptune and Saturn in your sign. But either way, I feel like if you did, then that's why this Queen of Wands is here, because you're able to see so much clearer. I mean, honestly, that's really what I'm getting, is seeing things clearly, which I know the Four of Cups tends to be a little bit of the opposites. Like you're not seeing what's being offered to you, but I feel like you see so clear you don't need to look up, because like you have like a 360 view, like a pigeon or something. Like pigeons have like, it's almost a complete 360. I think there's like a tiny percent behind the very back they can't see, but they can literally see all around them, as with like most birds. But just, I know pigeons specifically, like that's why it's hard to sneak up on birds too, because they see you before you see, not before you see them, but they see you coming a mile away. So yeah, maybe that's your vision now too. Like maybe, you don't need to look at certain things because you're keeping your peripherals open. If you were to look up at this, you're suddenly giving it your full attention, and now you have tunnel vision. And so instead of giving it your full attention, you're just kind of like absorbing everything around you. So that could be literally, that could be metaphorically. So either way, I feel like this new moon, and it is affecting the home front. So your sense of security, your sense of dignity, I'm getting, your sense of your own personal space and boundaries. Okay, the fourth house can be boundaries, because it's the home, it's the walls of a home where everything inside is private. I think that's great. I think it is a good time for you to kind of like chill out, okay, especially if you feel the need to. If you don't feel the need to, that's fine. You don't have to, because we are led on by Aries, and maybe you're ready to like really do things that you couldn't have done when Saturn was in your sign. So now is a really good time to plant seeds of what you want to do when it comes to like Saturnian things, or even when it comes to the fourth house, okay? And then when Saturn goes back into Pisces, you might be able to go back and retrieve something, okay? But that won't be a good time to plant seeds, okay, while it's in retrograde. So do it now. So that's why it's going to retrograde, and it's going to go back over, like it's going to fertilize what you planted, okay? And then it's really going to, bloom, okay? So now's a good time to really do that. So that's what I got for you guys. And also keep in mind, this is going to be about 6 months of unfolding. So it probably already unfolded because I'm recording this after the new moon. But this whatever unfolded at the new moon is going to carry on for the next 6 months and, well into the future. But you'll see the culmination around or on December 4th. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to pull some oracle cards now. I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle. Okay, so for you guys, we got number 23, growth. That's great. Because you know what? There's growth and recovery. So don't just think, taking sleeping for a week is doing nothing. You're actually, don't we grow more in our sleep? But sometimes we do have to take a step back and do nothing in order to grow. So keep that in mind. It's not so much a sign of being lazy. There's a lot that goes on inside our bodies that we need to give ourselves credit for. Okay, so number 23, growth. Crows become more vocal and aggressive when it is time for the young ones to learn how to fly. This is a pivotal moment in the young bird's life, and once this lesson has been mastered, the world becomes so much greater. You too may be at a crucial moment, and the lesson may be difficult at first, But once you understand it, a new world will open up to you. Growth directs your attention to areas of your life that have become remarkably different as a result of gaining a skill or understanding that you did not possess in the past. For example, learning a new language may have opened a door to new opportunities. Developing an understanding of your triggers that led you to sabotaging behavior or habits can help you overcome a block that once created stagnation. You may pull this card if you're on the cusp of a growth spurt, as a change that will move your life in a new direction is approaching. So that's great. I think that aligns with what I said for your reading. And so that concludes your reading and also concludes this video. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.